What is up, YouTube? Footage RLC, and I'm back with a Madden 16 online game. Here facing my good friend Dez. You guys saw me play him in yesterday's video. But today we're going to be talking about the first matchup of the 2015-2016 NFL playoffs, featuring my Kansas City Chiefs versus the Houston Texans. And ironically, it was against the Houston Astros that the Kansas City Royals started their eventual World Series championship run. So I don't know, maybe this is fate. I'm not quite sure, but so let's get straight into it. And first I'm going to say this is probably going to be a low-scoring game. I don't expect there to be a whole lot of offense. I think the Chiefs do have the advantage on offense with Macklin and Smith and Kelsey and West and Ware. And the Texans still have DeAndre Hopkins. DeAndre Hopkins is one of the best wide receivers in the NFL. But I think this is going to come down to the defense. Of course, the Texans got J.J. Watt. The Chiefs, they got Marcus Peters. How good has that kid been? I mean, Defensive Rookie of the Year. He pretty much has already won it. He's going to be an absolute stud in this league. Just, cannot wait to see him progress. D Ford, even though he's a bum, I don't know why I just said his name. Tom Bahali, Justin Houston, Derek Johnson, Dontari Poe, Eric Berry, Sean Smith, Ron Parker. So the Chiefs' defense is pretty loaded. That's why the Chiefs are going to be my pick to win this game. I don't think it's going to be a cakewalk for the Chiefs because, of course, we beat the Texans in Week 1 pretty easily, I'd say. But when you're in the playoffs, you can't take anyone lightly because they made it to the playoffs for a reason. Even if the Texans played in a bit of a weak division in the AFC South, they still made it there. They still beat professional teams. In the NFL, you're still facing professionals, the best of the best. So, you still got to, show the respect to any team regardless of their record, especially in the playoffs. But I still pick the Chiefs just because I think the Chiefs overall are a better team. And the Chiefs are coming in this red hot. 10 straight wins. But seriously, in preseason, who would have seen this? And even after the Chiefs 1-5 start, who would have seen them winning 10 straight games to make the playoffs? And we almost won the division too if the Chargers didn't blow. And then, the Texans winning the division, who saw that coming as well, and who saw the Colts being as bad as they were. So both of these teams definitely a bit, unexpected. Of course, I thought the Chiefs could have made the playoffs at the beginning of the year. After that 1-5 start, I was like, yeah, it's just not looking too good. But 10 straight wins, that's insane. That is a red hot streak. But unbiasedly, here's what the Texans got to do if they want to win this game. The Texans, they got to cause turnovers. They got to take the ball away from the Chiefs because, as we've seen in the Chiefs' 10-game winning streak, I think they have the best turnover differential in the NFL. So, and the key to that is just because, when you're not giving away the ball, you're just taking away possessions for your opponent, and when you hold on to the ball like that and you don't turn it over, it's very hard for your opponents to, really do anything on defense, because turnovers are a big part of the game. You get some turnovers, that completely can change the whole dynamic of a game. So I really think that the key for the Texans is they got to take the ball out of Smith's hands. They got to take the ball away from the Chiefs. On defense, they definitely got to contain Macklin. They can't let Macklin get downfield. I don't think that getting pressure on Smith is going to be a problem with J.J. Watt, but they definitely still have to do that as well. They got to get pressure on Smith. They cannot let first of all, they can't let Macklin get deep down the field. And second of all, they can't give Smith the time for Macklin to get down. They can't let Macklin get down the field in that time. They got to get pressure to Smith fast, make Smith make a quick throw because, if Smith has to make a really quick throw, we've kind of seen this in the past. Smith kind of, how do you say it? He's kind of impulsive with his throws at times, especially if you put a lot of pressure on him. Like we saw in the Green Bay game at the beginning of the year, they put a lot of pressure on him, and then he made a absolutely retarded throw. It ended up being picked for 6. So I think that shouldn't be a problem because, again, they got J.J. Watt. But that's really what the Texans got to do on offense. Pretty much they got to do what the Chiefs got to do. They got to make sure they can block Houston, Holly, and Poe, and they can't be letting them get to their quarterback. I think it's Ryan Mallett, maybe. I don't even know who their quarterback is, to be honest. And then they got to get DeAndre Hopkins going. If Hopkins can feast, because it's going to be hard, going up against Sean Smith and Marcus Peters. I think Peters is better than Smith, but still, those are two pretty much top-notch cornerbacks in the league. So, it's going to be a little bit tough on DeAndre Hopkins, but I still think that he's going to, do what he's got to do. But that's really what the Texans need to do to win. The Chiefs, what they need to do to win, pretty much, they got to give the offensive line, even though I don't have hope for this, but the offensive line has got to give Smith time in the pocket to throw. Because, again, if they can give Smith enough time, he can either let Maclin get deep enough down the field to the point where he can just lob one up to him, or he can, let some other plays develop and make a good throw, a smart throw, or even use his legs. And, that's another thing the Texans got to do. They cannot let Smith roll out of the pocket and scramble, because Smith, we've seen that he can be he's kind of elusive. He can be tricky with how elusive he actually can be and how much he can run. So the Texans cannot let him get out of the pocket and run around like that, and the Chiefs have got to give Smith enough time where he can make those kind of decisions, whether to make a safe throw or try to roll out of the pocket, scramble. But I don't have hope for that, because the Chiefs' offensive line is pretty bad. But that's what they got to do. Also, I feel like in the last few weeks, Andy Reid hasn't really gotten the duo of Charkandrick West and Spencer Ware going very much, because what's good about those two is West is a speedy, elusive type of back, and then Spencer Ware is the kind of Marshawn Lynch, punch you in the mouth, run right down your throat kind of back. So I feel like, he needs to use those two dynamic style backs, because that can really throw off the defense. You run like a toss or something like that, just like an outside run with a speedy back like West, and then you put in a power back like Ware and you run them right up the gut. That's going to throw off the defense a lot. So I feel like Andy Reid really needs to do good at mixing those two up. I feel like the last few weeks we haven't really gotten the run game established as much as I would maybe like them to. But, I think that's just what the Chiefs have got to do. Just don't turn over the ball. Pretty much just keep doing what they've been doing, on their 10-game win streak, which has been absolutely insane. 10 straight wins. But, so that's my predictions. You guys can leave your predictions down in the comments below. And if you're a Texans fan, sorry, but that's what I'm going with. I can't pick against my team. Realistically, I could, but no, I don't care if they're playing Jesus. I'm still gonna pick the Chiefs. Okay, that's just the way that it is. Okay, and you do the same with the Texans. It's the same thing with the Browns. The Browns fans, no offense, they know they're gonna lose, but they're still gonna pick the Browns to win every game. It's just kind of just the way that fans of teams work. But I do really think the Chiefs are gonna win. Unbiasedly, I think the Chiefs are gonna have this one, but it's gonna be a close one. And it's gonna come down to late in the game. Time. Game on the line late. I think it's gonna come down to that, and it's gonna come down to maybe a couple mistakes made by the Texans, a couple opportunities missed by the Chiefs is what's gonna totally change this entire game. But again, you can't really judge a game by one play. There's you play 60 minutes of football for a reason. That's why I don't necessarily believe in the, one play costs you the game, It does in some situations, depending on the, timing of it. But, for the most part, one play doesn't win you a game, because, there's still 60 minutes in a whole game. But, I should have another video out tonight for the Steelers-Bengals game. Wow. For the Steelers-Bengals game, my predictions with that. But it's kind of hard to get gameplay with, these certain teams, because the way that the online matchmaking works, I can't necessarily, lobby surf until I find someone that's using the team that I want to, go up against for a video. But I'm going to probably just ask some subscribers, that I'm friends with on Xbox if they want to play, or I can just ask my friend Dez if he's not busy as well. But yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed. Again, be sure to leave me your predictions for who you got in this game and maybe even the rest of the playoffs. But yeah, so I got a lot of content coming out today. Hopefully I'm going to be posting this half an hour before the game starts, so you guys can watch this before you watch the game. If you are going to watch the game, you guys can watch this and see what I say. And how on earth does Maclin catch that? Just how does Maclin get that catch? I have no idea. But yeah, so it should be an interesting game, an interesting playoffs. I'm super excited. This is going to be such a fun playoff. Even if the Chiefs lose, I'm still really, really excited to watch some of the other games, the Bengals and the Steelers. That's a great rivalry to watch. Then you got, you got the Seahawks and the Vikings. It's supposed to be 1 degree Like, it's supposed to be like 0-degree weather the whole game. You got the Packers and Redskins. That's going to be a really interesting game. You got the Cardinals, the Panthers, the Broncos, the Patriots. There's so much interesting storylines behind the entire playoffs this year. I'm super excited for it. Let me know who you guys are picking to go all the way. Who are your guys' Super Bowl picks? And hopefully, once it's time for me to make that video, hopefully I was right. Hopefully the Chiefs will be in it. But I don't know. We'll see. I mean, I'm hoping the Chiefs, can make it that far. But I'll take one win because we haven't won a playoff game since like 1993. So I'll take one win because that's all. I just want a taste of that playoff victory. Same with the Bengals, but you guys will find out who I'm picking hopefully later tonight if I'm able to make that video. So anyways, guys, I'm Fluttershy. I hope you enjoyed this Madden 16 online game, and see you guys in the next one. Peace out. As usual, have a great day.